Hello, folks. Thanks for joining us today for our live webinar, weekly webinar Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Standard. Today we're going to talk about antennas. Obviously, we do a lot of different things related to cord cutting, and antennas are a big piece of that. Right now I'm on our website where you can see, obviously we have a dedicated page for antennas, which has a lot of great information on there. We have a lot of blog articles that are links on the website as well, and even from this page. You can go up here to our blog section and see all the different topics. By the way, these weekly webinars, we'll be talking about different topics. Next week is just, cutting the cord in general and how to save the most money. The week after that, we'll probably do something related to streaming and internet. So we'll send out some more information on that. Or you can always go up to the top of our website where it says watch our webinar, and you can get all the details there and sign up for any webinars. So please be feel free to share this with friends and family and anybody else that's tired of getting ripped off from cable and satellite. We'll be glad to help them. We're a company that was created 10 years ago by myself, just because we kind of got sick of all the corporate environment. I actually used to work for big telecom for 13 years before I started this business 10 years ago now, to try to help people out. So obviously we're experts at it. We've been doing it for a long time. We're very unique. I think we're probably the only people in the whole United States that actually does this as far as the details and all the intricacies of what we do. But today we're going to focus specifically on antennas. If you have any questions, you can add them to the chat on the right hand side. I'll get to those towards the end. And then the other thing I would recommend too, if you have specific questions about cord cutting and how much money you can save, or antennas, or really anything related to that, it's easier to kind of do a one-on-one if you just go to our website and click on schedule a call here, or you can just obviously call us whenever you have a 5 minutes or so. 303-794-8600 is our direct number. Basically, if you think of free TV as a business, we exist to, instead of someone trying to cut the cord themselves and deal with all the antennas and streaming and wasting a bunch of time and money and losing their sanity, they just obviously hire us to do it right the first time because we're experts at it. We've been doing it forever. So we've tested every antenna in 10 years. We've tested every DVR and streaming service and streaming stick, so kind of cut to the chase for people and make it so it's, not only that they're saving the most money every month, but also that they're, not having to waste all their time and money and trying to piecemeal something together themselves and have it fail and be frustrating and difficult to use, things like that. So anyway, getting into the antenna stuff. Really, there's two sources for TV. When you cut the cord, there's the antenna, which is what we recommend for pretty much everybody because it's free. There is no monthly rate. And then the second source is streaming. We won't really talk about that today because that's not really the topic. But the antenna is, a lot of people don't realize it's actually been around forever. It's the FCC government-sponsored program that you grew up with, or even your parents maybe grew up with way back when. A lot of people kind of forgot about it, but about 10 years ago or so, they had the digital transition. That actually added more channels. So there's a lot of digital sub-channels that have like older TV shows, older movies, stuff like that. But there's also a lot of great stuff too, related to just like investigative channels and Western channels. There's a sci-fi channel, there's a comedy channel. There's all kinds of stuff, a whole bunch of older TV shows, older movies, PBS channels, which are great. And then most importantly, it's all your major network channels. So most of what people watch, all the top like 50 shows, sporting events, local news, it's all free off of local network channels. By local networks, I mean not cable channels per se off the antenna. That's where you need streaming. Pretty much any cable channel you want, by the way, is available via streaming as an add-on. No contract stuff. But the antenna channels, the local network channels, ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, stuff like that. CW, My Network, there's a whole bunch. But anyway, believe it or not, they're actually better HD quality because they're uncompressed. And they're free forever. So you're not paying a thing, because of that. The FCC originally mandated it because, you know, they like emergency broadcasts, things like that. So that still applies today, which is why the antenna program is free. So it's 100% legal. It's actually, you know, like I said, underwritten by the FCC and the government. So can't get any better than that. So we talked about the channels you get, kind of a little bit of the history, the HD quality. The other question we get a lot too are reception issues. You can actually see from this page on our website, by the way, if you go to the services tab and then you just, you know, click on the antenna section there, or you can get to it from the blog or down below as well. But basically, if you get to this HD antenna page, it kind of talks about a little bit of everything. This is actually just our website I'm showing you there. So it's really a great resource. If you click on this, you know, plus 50 more channels, including, that actually takes you to a link that has a grid guide. If you type in your zip code and you know that you're using an antenna, you can kind of see what you can get in your area. In the Front Range Denver metro area, which is where I live, you can basically, if you're doing it right at least, you can get probably anywhere from 50 to 70 channels. Seems like every couple months they're adding a new channel too. So it's, you know, great stuff. If you scroll down on this page, you know, the great thing about it too is there is no extra fees like cable and satellite where you're paying, you know, broadcast TV fee and sports TV fee and extra box fees and HD fees. So ironically, even though the antenna is better HD quality, you don't even pay for it. So, you know, Comcast, Dish, DirecTV, all these other Yahoos, they're out there charging you extra for HD every month when the free stuff is actually better quality. So the irony is kind of ridiculous. There's no sports fees. We even have DVR options, actually, if you want to add on a DVR for some of these, you know, these antenna channels. Totally doable. Nice grid TV guide, DVR. I'll show you that a little bit later so you can kind of get a feel on that, but there's actually no monthly rate at all. So with cord cutting, yes, you do pay more up front because you're buying the hardware you need, like the antenna, to get the channels you want, make it easy to use, things like that. But it's all flexible, customizable. Obviously, no contracts. The antenna stuff is $0 a month. So how are you going to have a contract on that, right? No taxes, no fees. Free means free. So that's one great thing about the antenna. The other thing that I mentioned on this antenna page is we don't do indoor antennas. So that's one thing there's a lot of misinformation out there about cord cutting in general, and especially about antennas. One thing especially is there's a lot of places or unscrupulous antenna manufacturers that just want to sell you some junky antenna and be on their way and never hear from you again. So just realize that if you're going down to like Best Buy or Amazon, you're getting a $20 or $30 indoor antenna, it ain't going to work very well at all. You're going to be missing channels. It's going to be breaking up in the middle of your local news or your favorite show or your favorite, you know, Broncos game, you know, football game, whatever it is. So, you know, that might be okay if you're a college kid or something, but if you're really trying to live in the real world and you're cutting the cord for real forever, that's just not going to cut it. So with free TV, with what we do, we guarantee signal because, you know, we have the tools. We have a little tool to actually be able to track up front to let you know if you're in a good spot or not, if we can guarantee your reception. But 95% of our customers, you know, that we come out and do installs for, 90% of the Front Range actually here locally, we can guarantee signal, and we'll be able to let you know that up front. What that means is all the major networks, you're not having to break up in the middle of your favorite show or the local news. And we install a much more powerful outdoor or attic antenna for lots of reasons. Most importantly, that way you can guarantee signal. You're still not having these constant issues every day with signal breaking up or missing channels, stuff like that. So we never have installed indoor antennas. We never will, quite frankly, because one, you got to put an indoor antenna on every TV in your house. So you're cluttering up your house with these ugly antennas all over the place and cords and wires running around your house. But two, more important than all that is just reception. So, you know, you're increasing your reception actually by 40–50%, having a more powerful outdoor or attic HT antenna installed. So again, that's why we do that. There's some great links on here. If you kind of click to, it'll take you to some other page. And then here's the other thing that is a lot of misinformation too, is the antenna is actually the easy part. There is no magical indoor or outdoor antenna that just magically like fixes where you're at and the wiring in your house and all that. So we obviously have been doing this for 10 years, so we have the tools and the expertise, signal meter, little mini TV, so we can actually test it on your roof or in your attic and make sure that it's in the best spot for reception. So it's obviously difficult to do that as a consumer, and it's not safe, quite frankly, be walking around on roofs. You know, we're very conscious about safety, whether it's COVID safety, which is what we're dealing with right now, or whether it's just safety in general with installing antennas. Grounding it is another really important thing. If I click on this link here, the antenna is the easy part. Everything else you need to do to get guaranteed reception, it actually kind of lays out some of these things. So I'll take you to that page on our website. That's not the antenna we use, by the way. that's just kind of a little article about what's the best antenna. So there isn't a best antenna. Like I said, there's just a bunch of bad antennas, and most of them are the indoor ones. Obviously, we use what we use for a reason, but really more than all that, it's having the antenna outside or in the attic, more powerful antenna in the right spot. The higher you put an antenna, the better. I'm just speaking generally. It avoids multipath, which is what causes the pixelation on your screen that you notice. If you have an indoor antenna, you probably notice that a lot. But actually with what we do, we don't do the cupped like satellite dishes. So the wind blows right through it. The snow doesn't stick to it. So I know it seems kind of crazy because you're actually paying nothing for it every month. It's free, as opposed to like satellite, you're paying hundreds of dollars a month for eternity. But the reception and the quality of the HD is actually better off of the antenna compared to like your old cable and satellite. I know it seems counterintuitive, but that's the case. Like I said before, signal meters and a little mini TV to tune it in to make sure it's in the strongest spot. The other thing is that people don't kind of forget about is the wiring, actually. So there's a lot of things that can be in your line that actually cause interference. And the reason we do the attic or outdoor antennas is that one antenna can power every TV in your house. So you're not cluttering up your house with indoor antennas all over the place. We use your existing wiring, so anywhere you have coax jacks in the wall, you can actually use those for the wiring, so you don't have to worry about fishing wires. And you're just using that one antenna for every TV in your house. You can watch different things at different times. So there's a lot of real benefits. Most importantly, like I said before, there was reception, which is why we just only do attic or outdoor antennas. We do it right the first time. If you go Google free TV, FREE, TV, look at we got hundreds of 5-star reviews all over the place because, we know what we're doing. We care about what we're doing. We do it right the first time. And obviously, you need a big ladder, the right tools to terminate coax, the splitters, all that stuff to make it work right. So that's really, at the end of the day, what it's all about. I'm going to show you on here really quickly. If you have a setup from Free TV and you're more interested in like having a nice grid TV guide and DVR functionality for your antenna, this is a system that we install where you can kind of see here. I'm going to my grid guide. I actually have voice remote. It's one remote, so it's super simple. You don't even need your TV remote, and you don't need hardwired jacks all throughout your house. It's actually all wireless, so it's a lot cleaner as well. So we have solutions for about anybody. Any problem we've fixed in obviously our 10 years in business. But this remote is super simple. It has TV volume, TV power, built into it. So it's the only remote you need, and it makes it so you have your nice grid TV guide. If you can see there, I have my CBS, CW, ABC, Fox, all the channels I'm used to off the antenna or off my, from my cable and satellite, but free, right? So kind of a no-brainer. And then, you can add in other things in here as well, like cable channels if you want to, if you feel like paying for options. Those are separate streaming options, but like I said, today we're just focusing on the antenna channels. So anyway, this is a free option that just adds in a nice grid TV guide. You can see I can move around and actually set up series recordings or just recording episodes, things like that. So it's pretty slick, and then most importantly, it's free. So you're actually not even paying any extra money for it on a monthly basis, which is really what we're all about, obviously, hence the name Free TV. So if we go back there to the grid guide, you can see I actually have a recording set up to record that show. So, for maybe 75% of our customers, they want kind of the cable and satellite look and feel without, the crappy customer service of cable and satellite and the getting ripped off for, hundreds and hundreds of dollars every month for eternity. By the way, our average customer at Free TV saves like $1,500 a year. So not just a one-time savings, but like significant forever savings. That's what we're about. But for 75% of our customers, we install this little extra system. That system gets you the nice grid TV guide, the DVR. It actually has voice remotes, so you can say channel guide and it'll pull up this guide, or you can say watch CBS, for instance, and it'll go to CBS, things like that. I won't get too into that today. That's what our webinar is more about on next week. If I hit the home button here, what I'm actually going to do is the second option is if you don't really care about the grid guide, the DVR, and all the intricacies, you can actually just do a basic antenna, and I'm going to change inputs. Again, if you have the Free TV system, you don't need to worry about having two remotes and changing inputs. But what I wanted to show you on this is if you just care about having the old school antenna by itself, you could have 3, 4, 5, 6 TVs in your house. It doesn't matter. It's all free TV. Those 50, 60, 70 antenna channels are actually coming in free on all your TVs with just your TV remote. So this is actually just my TV remote, and it's pretty straightforward. Just channel up, channel down, that type of thing. It's all the same channels. It's just getting those free off of the antenna. So you can see I'm just changing channels like I would on a normal TV. So it's pretty straightforward. It's just kind of old school. It's coax from the wall jack, plug it into the back of the TV, and you're just using your TV remote. So maybe 20, 25% of our customers, they just want to save the most money. They don't care about all the frills. And that's all we do is just install, an outdoor or attic HD antenna for them. And they're getting, free TV, live, better HD quality on all the TVs in their house. So pretty straightforward. The other question we get sometimes is, why we use an antenna versus just using a streaming only option for local channels. And, there's a couple reasons behind that. One, we're all about saving people money. And obviously, you can't get any less expensive than $0 a month from the FCC for the free antenna channels. Two, these streaming services, they charge more money. The 4 major networks alone, whether it's cable or satellite, or whether it's these local streaming services, they actually charge right around $20 per customer, and those content prices are going up and up, which is why your cable and satellite bills are going up and up, which is also why if you're paying for one of these other streaming service providers, you're paying 50, 60, 70 bucks a month as opposed to $0 a month. So that's the one reason we recommend. The other really main reason we recommend an antenna for the base, because then you can just get channels a la carte for like 3, 5, 10, 15 bucks a month, even for the premium channels, or you can get skinny bundles for like 30 or even 20 bucks a month for like 50, 60 cable channels, as opposed to having to pay the 50, 60, $70 a month that just keeps going up and up and up. The other thing is, if you pay for one of those big gigantic bundles and you don't have an antenna, you're locked into paying for that 12 months out of the year. Whereas with an antenna, you have the flexibility to say, hey, you know what? It's the summertime, my cable shows aren't on. I'm just going to totally shut this off and just watch Netflix and my free 50, 60 antenna channels. Well, if you're paying for one of these streaming services, you don't have an antenna, you can't do that. So that would be another reason why we do that as well. We already kind of talked about we don't use indoor antennas. We never will, reception issues and cluttering up your house. Really, the other thing to kind of keep in mind is there is no magical antenna, right? So it's really coming down to indoor antennas. Yeah, they're less expensive, but they're not going to work well. And then secondarily is you're cluttering up your house with indoor antennas all over the place. And like we said before, most important is the reception issues. You're always going to be missing channels, things like that, having channels break up in the middle of your favorite shows or the news. So we always recommend a much stronger, more powerful, attic or outdoor antenna. That's what we install. And that way we can guarantee you signal so you won't have all these issues and you're getting free TV forever without issues. Better HD quality and you're good to go. I think that kind of sums up most of the stuff. If you have any questions, definitely put it in chat. If you have any topics you'd like us to talk on in the future, put it in the chat on the bottom right here on the YouTube. You can actually sign up in the bottom corner too, I think, for our free TV channel on the YouTube page. And then actually, if I go back and change inputs and get back to our free TV setup here, like I said before, on our website, if you, I'll pull that up real quick. On our website, if you get back here, if you go and sign up and schedule a call in the top part here, you can also register for future webinars. Or, if you have friends or family, you can actually refer them out, and we actually pay our customers back. Even if they're not customers, we pay them back for referrals too. So appreciate you watching. Let us know if there's anything we can do to help. Like I said, just schedule a call from our website here. Share our webinars and with friends and family, or just give us a call directly, 303-794-8600. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for future webinars. All right, thanks. Take care.